Hey, what is going on, guys? Nem here. And today I wanted to sit down and kind of have a rant video with you guys about the Revelry and some of the investment design choices that were made with this particular event. Now, it's possibly something small, and this could potentially just be a me thing, but I wanted to get it out there and see how everybody else feels about this. Up until recently, Bungie really has had a solid grasp on how to handle rewards for these events, particularly when it comes to the Eververse stuff. So they introduced a while ago the knockout system whenever, Crimson Days or Festival of the Lost or the Dawning comes around, to make sure that you have the ability to get every item that Eververse has to offer by simply playing the game and not having to spend a single dime. And I think that's fantastic. That's a solid move. There's one thing that was introduced with the Revelry that I'm not too particularly fond of. So for those that don't know, the Revelry features an armor set that you can get by completing the weekly bounties and by completing the event itself, the Revelry. So it's almost a horde-like mode where you go into the infinite forest and you can mow down through branches and waves of enemies. Or if you're like Glad and his merry band of PvE players that is Redeem, you can go on like 500 clears of the verdant forest and just keep it going. Basically, it's just wave after wave. When your timer finally runs out, you get teleported to what seems like it's almost a boss rush mode, where you get 5 different bosses spawned, not at the same time, it's just one after another, and you're allotted a certain time. Once you complete that, you get 5 different chests that open up, and you get the new currency, which is Reveler's Essence, and you get some armor pieces. So it's really simple to get this new currency and this new armor set. Now, with the armor set is where I kind of have a gripe with the Revelry. So if you take a look at the helmet for all of the different classes for the Revelry, you can see that there's an ornament slot that you can get. Now, in order to acquire this ornament, it's a rare drop from Eva. If you have 75 Reveler's Essence, you can go over to Eva in the tower, and she has a little gift box available for you to purchase. And from there, this is where these ornaments have a chance of dropping. Now, again, I know that the event is supposed to be 3 weeks long, so I'm not expecting these ornaments to drop immediately or on day one, which, some people obviously had because it's entirely RNG. But some of the stuff that you get from here is a little questionable. So for 75 Reveler's Essence, you will most often than not get blue armor pieces, which is incredibly questionable. You also have a chance of getting like a core or even the new armor set that came with the event. I've easily spent maybe about 600 to 700 Reveler's Essence, possibly more, because honestly I've lost track at this point, and I haven't received an ornament yet. But that's not the main concern that I have here. The main issue is once you acquire this ornament and you inspect it, it tells you that this ornament is only visible during the Revelry event. And that for me is a huge demotivator in kind of participating in this or even chasing after it. Again, as I mentioned before, you don't have to do anything special to get the Reveler's Essence. It basically drops from anything. So you just play the game, and whether you do strikes, crucible, raids, or her daily bounties or her weekly bounties, you're gonna get Reveler's Essence regardless. My issue is, why lock the ornament behind a time period, which is, we're Thursday, so it's almost 2.5 weeks. that we have left for the Revelry. And it's a little disheartening because it just kind of makes me not really want to get it, even though I'm most likely going to be playing the games with my friends anyway, and I'm going to be getting Reveler's Essence. But in my eyes, the whole point is kind of lost when I can't use something after the event is over. And we're most likely not going to see the Revelry again until next spring. So it's just a little strange investment wise. And again, when it comes to the investment, you're most likely going to be playing the game anyway. But, you know, it's just so weird to have this go away when it's simply a visual, a cosmetic, something that's just supposed to make your Guardian look cooler. It has no, you know, particular stat boosts, or, you know, it doesn't bring back your, it's basically not the tonic, you know, it's simply an ornament for a piece of gear. Why isn't not available for the rest of the year? And I don't understand this difference in design choice when we had something amazing in Destiny 1. You know, if you're not familiar with how Destiny 1 ended, if you're new to the franchise with Destiny 2, in the last year of Destiny, there was an event called Age of Triumph, where Bungie basically took all of the armor pieces from all of the raids, they revamped them and added these amazing looking ornaments to it, from the Vault of Glass, Crota's End, King's Fall, Wrath of the Machine. As you guys will be seeing them up here, so I can show you some of the amazing designs that they had. And these ornaments were acquirable by completing challenges in the raid, you know, just by simply playing the game, and they're available for you to turn on and off whenever you like. And now to kind of switch over to how things have been with Destiny 2, we barely got stuff like this, and a lot of the armor and design seems to have taken a pretty big step back in terms of how visually it pops, you know? The closest that we got to something like that was with Solstice of Heroes. And with Solstice of Heroes, even then, you know, it was a massive grind to get those armor pieces up to the legendary version of them and to have them glow. And even then, the glow was tied to Eververse still. So, you know, for those people like myself who grinded all 3 characters, I got all of that armor set up to max. You know, I looked pretty for, what was it, maybe, I can't remember if it was like a week or a month in between when Forsaken dropped afterwards. But the moment Forsaken dropped, that armor set that I spent so much time trying to masterwork all the way up through became pretty obsolete within the first 30 minutes of Forsaken, because at that point you're now getting blues that are higher than that. And with the way the infusion system works, and with the masterwork course being a little bit on the scarce side yet, right now we haven't seen the new bounties yet. And the fact that the old armor set doesn't have any random rolls to it, because this was during the time where all of this stuff was just static. You know, there was no perks tied to them. And now it's just sitting in my vault, pretty much collecting dust. Not even in my vault, it's sitting in my collections, collecting dust. So it's just kind of disheartening, man. It's kind of disheartening to like have worked for some of that cool stuff and then it gets left behind like that. And this was basically the same issue that we had in Destiny 1, and this is what Age of Triumph aimed to fix, and it did fix. It brought all of that gear back, it made it relevant, it made it look even more amazing. But now we're in that same spot where we've taken 2 steps back and made armors, you know, have the static roll, and then bring them not bring them forward with random rolls. So now all of that year 1 armor is just pretty much useless. And now with this with the Revelry, you know, you have these cool looking ornaments, that are only going to be usable for 2 weeks, depending on when you see the video. So it's kind of a shame, man. It's kind of a shame. And one of the really cool things about this ornament, and I think this is fantastic, depending on how much gear you have on of the Revelry set, it'll change the way the helmet looks, so, or the ornament. So if you only have the helmet equipped, then you're going to get these really small looking horns. And the more you add on, so if you add the arms, the chest, the legs, and the cloak or the class item, they'll grow and they'll get more vibrant. And it's so cool. That's a really awesome way to kind of like incentivize using a whole set, especially during like the event. But then to take it away entirely, like, I understand taking away the tonic, obviously, because that's specifically tied to that, but an ornament, that to me just kind of blows my mind a little bit. And it's a shame because the design of these ornaments are really cool looking. Bungie has had a really solid art team, and it's just kind of a shame to see some of all of these cool things either get left behind or just no longer matter after the event is over. And eventually, whenever Destiny 3 comes out, or whatever the next iteration of Destiny we get, we don't know what's going to happen. So we don't know if we're going to get another hard reset, or if a lot of this stuff will carry over, or if it won't. So it's just hard to motivate myself to want to get this stuff if I know in 2 weeks I'm not going to be able to use it anymore, even if it's just for show. Even if I'm just walking in the tower and I want to have antler horns or little wings on the side of my helmet, or if I'm in patrol, it's just not an option. And I don't know, it's kind of disheartening as a player, because it doesn't make me want to go and redeem this Reveler's essence. But yeah, guys, that's kind of where I stand on things with this. Let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think? Obviously this is a non-scripted video, so I just kind of let my mind ramble on a little bit and let you guys know how I feel about all this stuff. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, if you agree with me, or if you disagree with me, or if you don't care, whatever. Thank you so much for watching. Your support to Planet Destiny is always appreciated. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.